Very super producer today, Mr. Luther Squeak Jackson, one of the most innovative producers and musicians of this century. We'll be right back to holler at you.
Talk to him, Squeak. Let's go, man.
Okay, we're back with the legendary Luther Squeak Jackson, who's got some really interesting things you need to hear from him. That's what he's doing in 2024. You do want to hear this guy. This is one of the best producers ever, and one of the best musicians and singers. You might know him from the legendary group 7 Mile. Glad to meet you, my
man.
Glad to meet you. So what kind of things you doing since this group? Tell us about this group. This is where it started?
This is where it started. 7 Mile.
Wow.
Yep, it's a group of 3 cousins and a best friend. Me, Glennis, Tess, and Dion.
Wow,
Yep.
really?
Yes, sir.
Now, I've known you guys for years, and I've always been a big fan of 7. You know, you guys, I don't know, where did you get that talent of being able to sing in unison like you do? I mean, I've listened to a lot of groups that I like, and you guys just take the cake, you know?
Well,
I've never heard anybody.
Well,
like
first it's of course we are talented, but at the same time we are gifted too as well. So it comes naturally. You know, all our families sing. You know, our mothers and cousins all used to sing in groups back in the day before we was even born. So it's just something that just came natural.
Where'd you get the name Squeak? Because everybody else, I know you, man. I know you for years, but they don't really call you anything else but Squeak.
So Squeak came from a nickname that my grandfather gave me when I was little because I used to cry. I used to squeak when I used to cry, like a little mouse. So
all right.
That's where I get the name Squeak from.
Man, you got one of the best tenors I've ever heard. And it's not just a tenor, man. You can drop to any kind of key, any kind of note. You don't have a range. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know, I'm older now, so I probably could just stay right here. Back in the day, I used to be able to go, no, I'm still good. I can go up and down. It's all natural, Dad. You know, it's just something that I was just able to grasp on and just being able to just hear certain notes and just put it all together. And that comes with just over the course of time, with just getting into production and having to produce vocals on your own versus somebody producing you. So getting into producing other acts, you got to just be able to hear and know the artist that you're working with, and just the capacity of range that the artist can go as well. So,
well, how did y'all go? I was looking at the album and it says Crave Records. Crave Records a part of
Sony. They
was part of Sony.
Yep. That was Mariah Carey's label.
Man, I like Mariah.
Who don't? Who don't?
Yeah. So I was working with her like.
Ooh, so. In the process of working with her, when we got our deal, we was able to record a couple of songs. One of our biggest songs that was never released was a lot of people's favorites was After. That was produced by Mariah Carey and Stevie J.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So I mean that whole process, just being in a room with a iconic figure as in Mariah Carey, you know, that was like always a dream come true. Because I used to study Mariah Carey when I was younger. What was this? Vision of Love, when she used to hit all the high notes. That's why I used to get some of my high notes from. So it was just a blessing at that time, just to be able to just be selected to be on the label, a big label with an iconic figure like Mariah Carey. So.
But you guys, I mean, you personally went on to work with a whole lot of others, from Casey, Joe, Prince, everybody else you worked with. Overseas, Japan, you did a lot. Tell us some of the things you're working on right now.
So right now I'm working on this will be my 3rd solo project. It's going to be releasing this year around Christmas time, so it's going to be a present. So. And then I got some other projects I'm working on. Just released a compilation CD with a label that I'm signed with, Angel Grove, Dove, Universal Ingrooves.
Wow.
Yeah, so they based out of Atlanta. But the guys that's responsible for the label, they are from Grand Rapids, Michigan. So it's still a family. You know, it's like he's from Detroit, so they Detroit. But and I got that working out with them. They just dropped a compilation album with various artists. You got blues, you got country, you got gospel, you got R&B, you got pop. You know, it's just one big old happy album. A lot of people would be happy to hear it.
So do you have your own label right now? I think you were producing for your daughters, weren't you?
Yeah, so I'm producing my daughters on my own label, which will be a part of the Universal Ingrooves as well. So my company is My World Entertainment. So I'm producing, the album will be coming off of my label as well as Universal. So it's a joint venture.
Okay, all right. So that's going to be something to look for.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to see the biography that you wrote, the story of your life and stuff like that. So it's been trying to be done before. I know a few guys who was like, they kind of don't know the story like you know the story.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that book come to fruition. And when you get that, and then you go to doing a movie too, right?
Yeah, so I'm working on a short film, and it's a true story about my life coming up in the music. Because my grandfather was a blues guitarist. He used to play with B.B. King. ZZ Top, everybody. So I'm quite sure that's where the talent and the gift come from, my grandfather. So it's natural. So I'll be working on that and just pretty much telling my life story about how I came up in the music and the ups and downs and the things that kept me out of the streets and more, focusing on my talent and my gift, which is music. So it's going to be very, very fulfilling little short film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can get it on Oprah. You already met her. You already met LL Cool J.
Yeah.
You work with everybody from Clive Davis all the way in the industry.
Yeah.
So this is Luther Squeak Jackson. I'm telling you, this is the real deal, Holyfield.
Yes,
look out for him. He's coming there. If you don't know it, now you know.
I remember when I was a ladies' man, hanging out with my fellas, chilling, drinking here. It was a late night, I was on a creep. When I saw you, I know you seen me. You had this look in your eyes, like a me boy. So I stepped up to you, like the real McCoy. You gave me your number, and it made me wonder what was up with you.
We were discussing earlier about some of the people that you were working on your project. Tell us about your project again.
Okay, so my project is pretty much, it's not going to be a typical R&B album. I mean, I'm trying to tap off into different type of genres. So I'm doing some country, I'm doing some blues. I just want to do an album full of surprises, just not something that people say, well, I expect that to hear.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to step outside the box, something I have never really actually did unless it was me producing on somebody else. So for myself, this is a big challenge for me. And I know I can do it, but I never done it. So it's going to be exciting just to see the outcome and the response I get from it.
You did so much stuff. Tell us just some of the things that you I know you said that this is something that you're trying to accomplish, but you did so much accomplishments that most people don't really know. Mm-hmm. What would be some of the key things that you think stood out in your career?
Ooh, key things that stood out for me, for one, was accomplishing my goals. And my goals in life was to get a record deal, a big major record deal, which I have achieved with my group 7 Mile, and that was with Mariah Carey and Crave Records and Sony. But for myself, just to keep going, just to, never give up. Of course, we have our ups and downs and obstacles. Like one of the biggest obstacles was hard for me to get over, but it allowed me to keep going because I wanted to keep my cousin's name alive, which was losing my cousin Lil G from the group.
Legendary Glennis Martin.
Yes, Glennis Martin Jr. So that was one of the things that really kept me going, just, in the name of him. Because, without him and without Tez and without Dion, including myself, we would have never got that opportunity. So I just can't just say it was all me. I played a big part of it, but just to be selfish, just say, no, it was, no. It was a group effort. We all played our parts in it. I couldn't have got signed without all 3 of them guys and vice versa. So that's one of the things that kept me going.
Well, we're speaking of accomplishments, and one of the things you accomplished was just as a singer. So, but you're way more talented than that. You're one of the most prolific producers ever. So, I don't know how you hear the notes and play the stuff, but tell us about some of the production and stuff and what goes involved in being Luther Squeak Jackson, because production is, wow, man, you're key, you're solid after.
I appreciate it. Well, you know what, production, over the years, you know, I just didn't become this great just like overnight, so I had to put in work. I've been doing this since I was in the 7th grade, and the one guy that really inspired me to do this in production, a guy that I'm real close with still to this day, he's my top producer, hands down. I mean, you got a lot of greats out here. You got the Teddy Rileys, you got the Rodney Jerkins, you got the Stevie J's.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey J. Walker
Really?
is my all-time favorite. I actually had to sit down. I sat down with him when I first met him when I was probably 13, 14. And just sat up under him in the studio and just was like, I want to do what he's doing. I want to do what he's doing. And that inspired me to become great at what I do.
So you work with all the top producers to get you that, but I sit in the studio and I still ain't got it. I watch your work, fella.
Man, you been
I'm
there,
like,
done
what?
You been there, done that.
No, man. You
been
got your
around that
own
table
way
more
of
than
you
me.
got your way of doing things, man, that I've never seen. And from vocals to you already tops on vocals, but your production and how it's just a different style. I've never seen it, but I witnessed it, and I admire you for being not only that, but you moving in different areas. Tell us about the film and what it's about that you're working on.
So the short film is basically a short film about my life coming up in the music industry, because my grandfather was a famous blues guitarist. You know, he played with B.B. King, ZZ Top. The list goes on and on and on. So I just wanted to share some light on my upbringing, on just with family, and the drugs in the house, and you got people drinking in the house. You got just different ups and downs. But my main focus was just to stay on my goal. My task was just to do this music and become something from that music.
I always want to ask you about your personal life and your wife. You've been married how?
It'll be 21 years this year.
Wow,
21
man.
years, yep. 21 years. Yep, happy.
How'd you guys meet?
Oh, so we went to high school together, but we never knew each other. So she knew my brother, and they was close. She knew my cousin, she knew Taz, they was close. It just so happened one day she just moved next door, and I was on my way to rehearsal, get ready for a showcase in New York to get signed, to get it signed to a label. And she just was standing on the top porch, and she said, "Hey, Squeak," and I looked up and I was like, "Who is you?" I'm like, "We got a new girl in the hood. What's going on over here? Tell me something good." When she said, "Hey, speak, don't be rude when somebody's speaking to you," I said, "That's gonna be my woman."
Wow.
Yep, and we've been together for 28 long years. We got 4 beautiful daughters. We got 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
And we just keeping it moving, man. Just keeping it moving.
And all that talent, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So what if you had any goals that you were trying to achieve, what were some of the goals you would try to achieve now? That you're already going to do a movie, you're already going to do a book, you're already going to do one of the most successful singers and most prolific producer. What's next?
To see my daughters achieve in their goals and in their talents, because everybody used to tell me like, "Man, well, you got 4 daughters, I know they all can sing, I know you're gonna be the Joe Jackson and this and that." I said, no, one thing I would not do is pressure them in something that I think they should be doing. They got their own mind, and it'll come a time and a place where they say, "Hey, Daddy, we ready now." We just not ready. That's what we working on now. Working on their first project. So that's a big goal for me, because like I said, now that I done made my way, the door is open for them. The door is open.
All right, man. You were telling me about your new project that you're working on currently, and some of the I want to get into trying to listen, if you don't mind, some of those tracks, some of those songs that you have and what's going on. Just talk to Luther Squeak Jackson, the one and only. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
I cannot believe
silly. You silly. You silly, boy. You silly. I just caught what you just said. Why everybody keep telling me that, bro? They're like, no, you is Joe number 2. I'm like, really? I mean, well, I studied him for the longest. So what you expect?
I can't believe you came over, babe. I had to ask what your name was, see what the deal was for sure, babe. I can't let you here today. What you giving me the win for?
I need them digits.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm undressing you with my eyes. And it's making things look better. Sexy lips shining with tight jeans, sneaking oasis, Coke bottle frame, Beyonce face. Brown skin, can we be friends? And I wanna get in that candy. It's like sweet, sweet fish. And I give you this, make it hip hop, get a kiss. Boy, I miss you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. She got more flavor than candy. You. Yeah, you.
Red high, red seat. And this right here, it's gonna be my joint. It's gonna be your joint. Your body.
Girl, it's your body. It's your girl, it's your body. It's your body. It's your body. It's your girl, it's your body. I want. Your body's calling. You know I want it. You can see it in my face. So girl, stop pretending this is Bobo's business. You know you want it anyway. See, I've been around the world, had plenty of girls, and none of them compared to you. Know, girl, I want your body. Damn, I need your body. I wanna give it all to you.
I know there was a lot of trials and tribulations going on with the loss of legendary Dennis Martin Jr. But it came a time where some personal things were happening in your life, right? Okay, tell us about that.
Well, you know, after my cousin passed away, man, that was like a real, still a hard pill to swallow. You know, my little cousins, you know, everything to our family. You know, and it's not easy losing somebody. So I mean, around that time, now a lot of depression kick in. You know, the music game has changed, and I was not involved in the music as much as I was because I won't say I was really in a heavy depression, but at that point, I think. And there was a lot of other things that was going on. It was just like, I was like, you know what, the hell with the music. I mean, at that point, I felt like I gave enough to music, but I didn't receive enough out of music. So, but through God's grace and mercy, I was able to get a call from Dr. Marley McNichols and his wife, Joyce McNichols, Angel Dove Global, Universal Global Music, reached out to me and they was looking for some work for me to do on Marley's wife, Joyce. So she sent me a song, and at that time I was like, I wasn't even trying to, I didn't even want to even touch music. I had spider webs all over my equipment in the basement. It was dust everywhere. I just ain't been down in the basement doing anything for like over a year. And the only people that knew that I was going through that and I had made a decision to say, hell with music was my family, my immediate family, my kids. And they had to understand how I felt and what I was going through at the time. But they was like, but you ain't gonna be able to just drop the ball like that. So when I got that call, and it was one situation turned into another situation, was got me back in the game. Like I said, they was calling to ask me to remix a song. That's what it was. We need a remix. We need a verse on this, and this. And I'm like, all right, let's go down here and knock the cobwebs off and see what I can come up with, which ended up turning out to be a full song of mine that was supposed to be a remix to somebody else's. So when that jumped off, I got the fever again. It was like, you know what? It just means something, and I ain't had a feeling like that since the first time when we got signed with Sony, or another time when I got signed with LL Cool J. So that feeling came back into me. I knew I was like, you know what, I got way more to give than to sit up here and allow my family to see me just give up on something that I was granted with by God, which is my gift.
Wishing that you're here, but you're so far away. My heart is here to stay. I wait in the rain, love with someone else, the world with someone else's soul. I don't know what to do, don't know what to say, 'cause every time I have this dream, it always is this way. Now I gotta find a way to get you back to me. Until then, I'll keep searching in this dream.
I know you want to give some shout outs to some people that you've been working with, and people that you got to have some notable mention area.
Yes, sir.
So
let me just send a shout out to my label mates, KFM Music, Carl Foltz, love you, bro. He's another guy that really got me out of the hole. I don't want to talk about that right now, but it's another time in another interview, because that's a real special moment for me. He really set the bar for me and really helped me and got me back on my feet. So Carl Foltz, I love you, bro. Appreciate you. And we still got more work to do. It ain't over yet. Marlon McNichols, Dr. Marlon McNichols, his wife Joyce McNichols, Universal End Grooves, for giving us the opportunity with the distribution and just to take things to the next level. You know, things that we always pray about, like in the music industry. We just wanted to get that fair shot and be heard with our music. My wife and my kids, I love y'all. I love my wife, I love my kids, my grandkids, who keep me inspired and keep pushing and keep the torch lit as long as I can. I'm on this earth. My little bro, T-Cal, Radio Ready Music, love you, boy. We still got more work to do. My little cousin Lucky, appreciate you. My little cousin Deja, appreciate you. She's a rapper, up and coming. I got her on a couple of joints that we're working on. King Rush, we got work to do. King Rush, Joe Parade. The list goes on and on, man. I mean, I can go sit up here for days. You know, this just like I said, this is a project where I'm just not doing it alone. Like, you know, when you need the help and you try to step outside the box, you reach out to your fellow inmates, your colleagues, and we just made it happen. So this is a project I hope you guys enjoy. The Hidden Secret. It's the name of the album, The Hidden Secret. So it's been a long time coming, and when they do, I hope y'all sit back and enjoy and just give me your honest feedback. You know, I could take criticism, it don't matter, because I'm a critic to myself with my own music. So it'd be great. And I just hope y'all stay tuned. Got more things to come. Kill Will, got work to do. Leonard, appreciate you, man. This opportunity always stuck by my side. Dream Factory Records, you know, LLC. Since 2002, when I first got the Casey and JoJo joint. Man, y'all been there backing me ever since then, and it wasn't as fans and as family. So I just appreciate all the love, you know. But it ain't over till the fact that that's us.
Look who's rolling up in a Bentley with about 10 deep, heading to the VIP. It's me, you see, and I'm at the party with these huns.